Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Monday, November 24th, 2025. I am Bishop Darrell Watkins, the Senior Minister of the Sunshine Cathedral. With me today are Bishop Robert Griffin, Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, and Reverend Kevin Tisdall. We are the Queer God Squad. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about us.
Queer God Squad was created by Hotspots Happening Out to support our mission to explore the value of faith in the LGBTQ community. There is no streaming TV show like this in the entire world.
In 2025, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Hotspots magazine, with Queer News Tonight sharing over 11,000 stories and 11 million views so far.
We are the largest nonprofit LGBTQ media organization in America, and we encourage you to support our mission to inform, entertain, and educate our community and allies.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. Queer-friendly Swedenborgian theology. Swedenborgian theology offers a unique perspective on spirituality and human identity, emphasizing the importance of love and compassion. Emmanuel Swedenborg's writings suggest that one's spiritual worth is not determined by external characteristics, but by the quality of one's love and generosity towards one another. This approach can create a welcoming space for queer individuals who have often been marginalized by more oppressive theologies. Swedenborg, he lived from 1688 to 1772, developed a theology that acknowledges that human experiences and relationships are complex, multifaceted, and love can take many forms. By focusing on the spiritual significance of love and acceptance, Swedenborgian theology can provide a framework for understanding, affirming queer identities. This theology encourages individuals to explore their spirituality in a way that is authentic and meaningful, rather than conforming to rigid dogma. The theology of scientist, philosopher, mystic, and theologian Emanuel Swedenborg is inclusive, affirming, and allows for a sense of true connection for LGBTQ plus people of faith. Swedenborg experienced God as all-loving and love as the truest expression of faith. Okay. Swedenborgian. Bye. Every now and again, my tongue gets in the way of my brain. But looking at the theology, you see really a very positive LGBTQ plus affirming theology that says, embrace your true self, embrace who you really are. And it was interesting when I looked him up, he was, as I mentioned in the article, he was a scientist, he was a thinker. He did a lot of things that may have moved him away from the spiritual, but he had an experience. He had a number of experiences where he had mystic visions. He began to see spirits, and he actually, according to him, saw Christ in 1745. So he saw that as a divine mandate to talk about spiritual matters in a different way, to speak about it from a perspective that maybe many had not thought about speaking about.
His theology is a little interesting, but since you're never going to agree 100% with anybody's anything, it wouldn't be a deal breaker for me if there was a Swedenborgian church somewhere that I want, In fact, we have the that glass chapel in California. Was the Wayfarer's Chapel, which was beautiful. They had to deconstruct it because of geology or whatever, and I think there's plans to build it back up. Anyway, it's beautiful. And we went to service there. It was beautiful. I'd go there again. But I think his Christology is, for him, the whole Trinity is Jesus. Like, it's all Jesus. So, like, God is a Trinity, and the Trinity manifested as Jesus. But so anyway, I've never been able to work it out exactly what they're trying to say with that. It's some sort of mystical thing. But there's that's unique. They think, or they believe, that the quality of your life, like, they do believe that some people go to the good place and some places go to the bad place, but that the quality of your life is what gets you to the good place. Like, it doesn't matter what you call God or if you even have a God, that love is what matters. And if you're loving and kind and generous and, blah, blah, that's what you get to the good place. And he also thought that not everybody in the bad place would know they're in a bad place. That like if being hateful or greedy or cruel is what got you there, and that's the way it is, well, that's what you grew on. Like, you know what I mean? Like if I don't know, let's say somebody named Connell Drumpf were to die. And he would go to he might think that hell was the bee's knees, you know? So it wasn't like, it was basically however you are is what your eternity is. And if you like what you are, being an a-hole, then your hell isn't that hellish. So he had some just interesting nuances on things. He also thought angels were people, dead people who'd sort of gotten a promotion. And so, you know, he just had some thoughts that you may or may not agree with, but what I love about him is that he asked questions people hadn't asked, and he shared things that nobody else would have shared if they believed him. In fact, he did get brought up on heresy charges by the Lutheran Church of Sweden. His father was a bishop.
Oh my God.
And so, and his philosophy lives on. His church, the church named for him, didn't start until after he died. I think it was in the early 1800s in England. But they built it around that theology. And then over the years, there have been different pockets, like there's a more conservative pocket and a more liberal pocket. And the liberal pocket is intentionally pro-LGBTQ and almost always has been. So it's really, look him up. He's the one theologian that I've tried to study that I just don't get to a peaceful conclusion with. Usually I think, okay, I do or don't agree with that, but at least I understand it. With Swedenborg, I think I agree with a lot of it, but I'm not. But maybe I don't, because I'm not sure what's going on. So, but I also love that about them, that it's not easy.
Right.
One of the other things about his philosophy is that if you're a bad person, you can become a better person, you can become a good person, but it only sticks if you really walk away from that bad stuff that you did in the past. So that was interesting to me, that there were steps that one could take in order to be less bad and even eventually good.
Yeah. So beating your spouse at home and then going out and giving lots of money to charity and volunteering at the orphanage, and no, you got to stop doing the mean.
But I can see why this appeals to the queer community, because it seems to allow for questions. You know, when things are uncertain, when, you know, maybe this faith tradition of my childhood didn't work for me because there were absolutes. When we can ask questions, when we can try and figure things out, and if this doesn't work, we can go to this. That really can be appealing to those who are really seeking, particularly those in the quear community.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and their clergy do go to the same Protestant seminaries everyone else goes to, so they know. And they also, well, the conservative branch has their own, but the liberal guys, they just go to PSR and Union and Earlham and, you know, wherever. But they, what was the thing? I wanted to make sure that I remembered. The mystical theology bit came out of, like, he didn't just go a different way because science. He went a different way because science sort of led him there. The investigative part of science, he used that in mystery. So he investigated the mysteries, the other world. So the intellect was important, but also the mysterious. You know, not everybody who sees angels and talks to them and gets their lineage and their CV, not everyone would assume that was okay. Like, I need to start looking at my diet or something. But he just shared it. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he died in 1772. America came along a little bit later after that. And it's interesting to see his influence in America today. And this is yet another lens by which people can turn to for faith understanding or theology studies. And if I'm not mistaken, there is a Swedenborgian church in Cambridge.
There is.
I thought it was. I remember going to that one. And so
beautiful.
It's a beautiful church there in Cambridge, Mass. And so, you know, it's amazing how this one little thing, after all these years, can still affect us today to question why we believe what we believe, and it's just another lens by which we can say, I can, you know, and I agree with you, Dr. Edward, that this is another one of those kind of places that where people can find themselves, because it allows you to question, it allows you to wonder, and it's not dealt with a heavy-handed dogma in one way or the other, but allows you to say, I can be here and be okay, and I can be welcome too.
Helen Keller was Swedenborgian.
Oh.
She, I don't know that she joined the church, but the theology, she embraced it wholeheartedly.
That would
Loved
surprise
it.
me. Yeah.
Loved it, Helen Keller. And also, another thing about Swedenborg is that he interpreted the Bible allegorically. He didn't deny that whatever said was history. He didn't bother denying that it was or wasn't history like we do in critical scholarship today. But he did say it also has another meaning, and it was always allegorical, and which influenced the New Thought version, the New Thought method of Bible study. So the New Thought people who call it metaphysical interpretation is really just allegorical, and that's been going on since Swedenborg.
Nice.
Interesting.
Nice.
And that's today with the Queer God Squad.
Before we go, I want to invite you to check out our Performing Arts series. Sunshine Cathedral Center for the Performing Arts has a great acts lined up for 2025 through 2026 season. Here is a taste of what's coming up.
December 7th brings Matthew Darren's annual Holiday Fantasia, always amazing, and this year it will again be co-hosted by Varla Jean Merman.
And in 2026, there is already some great shows lined up, such as Selection from Pearly, a musical based on a play, Pearly Victorious by Ossie Davis on February the 7th. For more information about these shows and others, and to secure your tickets, go to sunshinecathedral.org/arts.
Please like and share this episode on your social media and look for Sunshine Cathedral on Facebook or Instagram.
You can also like our individual pages on Facebook. Remember to visit sunshinecathedral.org frequently. There you will find Bishop Talk, where Bishop Durrell and I interview queer religious leaders, activists, and scholars.
Thank you for joining the Queer God Squad today. We are here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. Remember that we are all in this together, and also remember, you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad.